Motion carries. Before we end tonight, I do have, and there were handouts at the table, this little sheet, which talks about reassessment taxation. And I'm going to turn this over. There will be this sheet on the television, so when you look at this at home on cable, you'll be able to see the numbers directly. So if you don't have a sheet with you now, it will be on the cable station. There were some comments made last meeting regarding reassessment and comparisons of reassessment at 100% in Greece and the 88% in Irondequoit from last year. And I'm going to ask Mr. Bovenzi to talk about that a little bit because we do have an analysis here and actually information and how one would have accepted.
Well, it is, and maybe it's a good point that it's always good to do the math for it on the conclusions. What you have here is a comparison of Irondequoit and Greece, starting with the equalization rates in the 2007 tax roll that are applied to the 2008 budget. We talk about the county budget share in each of these towns and the tax rate for the 2008 county budget. I think the claim was made that because we were at less than 100% equalization rate, that Irondequoit residents were paying more on their county tax than they otherwise would if the town was at 100%. And so, and I think the example of Greece was cited because Greece is at 100%. And I did confirm that with the Greece finance director with Pellegrino, that indeed they are at 100%. So, what you see at the top here, the two equalization rates, 88% and 100% for Greece. The tax rates for the 08 county budget in Irondequoit, $7.95. Just around that, and in Greece, $7.08 per thousand. So indeed, the Greece rate is lower, but the assessed values, as you see in each of these examples, are higher. So the calculation is in, and I used four examples: an $80,000 assessment in Irondequoit, and $100,000, and $130,000, and $170,000. Those four examples of assessments in Irondequoit, and then converted those to the 100% equalized assessed value in Greece. So an $80,000 assessed value in Irondequoit is equal to a $90,909 assessed value in Greece. Excuse me. And if you apply the two tax rates, the $80,000 property in Irondequoit would pay the tax to the county at the rate of $7.95. So the total tax payment would be $636.18. The $90,909 assessed value in Greece, again, this is the equivalent to the $80,000 value in Irondequoit, would pay at the rate of $7.08 roughly. So that payment would be $643.27. So in fact, the payment in Irondequoit is $7.09 less than a payment on the equivalent property in Greece. That's the $80,000 example. At $100,000 assessed value in Irondequoit, the comparable value in Greece is $113,636. Again, applying the same two tax rates, the payment in Irondequoit would be $795.23. In Greece, $804.09. So the payment is lower in Irondequoit by $8.86. And then $130,000 assessed value in Irondequoit, the comparable in Greece is $147,727, applying the same rates. I won't go through all that, but the Irondequoit payment is lower by $11.52. And finally, the $170,000 value in Irondequoit equates to $193,182 in Greece, so that payment is lower in Irondequoit by $15.06. So the point is that, doing the math here, you actually find that the payment, comparable property is actually lower in Irondequoit than it would be in Greece.
Even at 80%.
80, right, exactly.
So there's not that additional surcharge.
So the so-called surcharge, that's right.
Okay.
There was another statement made that we lost some state aid, and I just wanted to summarize that too. This was the state aid for the revaluation. We did receive state aid for the reval effort from 2000 through 2005, the years in which we were at 100% or within that 5% range of 100%. The total amount received in those years, those 6 years, was $546,700 roughly. We did not receive state aid in 06 and 07. We have budgeted in 08. Now, we didn't receive it in 06 and 07, but we also didn't have the expense of reval state aid. And we need to clarify this. The state aid is a reimbursement for part of the cost of the revaluation. It's something you give up. So it's offset by the fact we didn't have the expense. Obviously, we had the expense in 07, but there's a lag on that. So just a clarification of those two.
Thank you, John. We also